Okay, this is video 2 of this two-part video on databases. So this is on exercise 2, and we're going to now look at the second part of this assignment. So the first part was you to create exercise 2 evidence, and you did just these two bits, right? So you had the evidence of creating those extra records, those 3 records in here, and then you had the import of the data into the database. So the next thing we need to do is go on to the next page and look at producing this report. So question number 5 is for this lesson. Okay, so we've got a page that's portrait mode. So if you think about this untitled document, I've finished working with that. So I've saved it. Make sure you put it into maybe a better folder, because this will have just gone into your Google Drive if this is how you did this, or if you did it from Google Classroom, it would have gone straight to me. So you just need to put it into whatever folder that you want it to be in, and then I'm going to just create a new document here, because we will upload 2 documents. Okay, so the first one will be the evidence document, which you'll upload, and then the second one will be this new one here. So this will be the report. Okay, so I'm going to just move this off to the side, and we're going to look at how to create this. Okay, so we've got all our data in here, and I'm going to go to execute SQL. I'm going to keep this up over here that I can see all the names of my fields. And the first thing that we need to do is look down the bullet pointed list. So if you see in the bullet pointed list, I'm going to say shows only the records where that is. Contains a new field, shows only the field staff, date, booking week, number, tour, and income. So those are the ones I want to put in first, okay? Because that's how you have to do the select statement. So select, and we're going to say staff. So it was staff, date, booking, week, number, tour, and income. And then we will say from the table, which is N9 book, right? Now, the problem with this, if I press play, you'll notice we get an error here and it says no such column income. So of course, income, if I take that away, because this one was probably a calculated field, if I do it, there you can see I've got the result, right? And I get 673 results. That is everything in my table. So what's wrong with income? Well, income doesn't exist because it's not in our table. If you look here, we haven't got it right here, right? So you notice we're only displaying a few of them. The other thing you can notice is that date has come up a different color, and that's because this is also used as a function. There's a function that you can use in the SQL language that is called date, but we won't be using it. So it's just the fact that this is called date as well, so that's why it's been given that different color, but don't worry about that. Okay, so next thing that we've need to do is contains a new field called income, which is calculated at runtime. This field calculates price multiplied by number, right? Okay, so like we did before, we can just pull this out a wee bit, and we will say it was price. So we'll just say price multiplied by a number as income. Okay, so do that now, and there we go. We get this price multiplied by number. So if we look at it, you can see, well, we can't see it there, but if you look at if you browse the data and you look at the price here for the first one, 195 times 3, and that should be right, 585. Okay, so you can just check to see if this has worked properly. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, so that is bullet point number 3, and then it says, has the income field formatted as currency? So we can't do that here. Shows only the records where the week is 36. Okay, so the week is 36. So we can just add that in here, where, oops, spelled it wrong, where week is equal to 36. Okay, so if we just press play on that, there you go, you can see it all has the week. We get 248, so we got a lot less now. It's only the ones that are 36. And what else do we need to do? And then it says the booking date was made between the 1st of April 2009 and the 30th of June 2009 inclusive, and the office is Strand. Now this date one, this is the one that we talked about. The date is now text. So in order to search this is going to be a problem, because we would do and you could do, usually you could do something like this. You could do between, and then you could put the date, and then you do another date. But this isn't going to work, because these aren't numbers. These are actually, it's just a string. So instead of between, we have to do a wildcard search. Now there's a wildcard that we did in the last video, which was the one that we used the percentage sign to use that. Now this one is going to be an underscore. So what I'm going to do, I've got and I'm going to put date, like, and I'm going to put then in the quotes, because it is in quotes, and I need to put all the months in here. So I'm going to do it by month, and we need to use underscores. So imagine the date here, right? I want to look at this month, because we want to get from the 1st of April to the 30th of June. So essentially we want 4th, 5th and 6th month, right? So it'll be these last ones, 4, 6 and 5, these ones, but we want these numbers to be all of these numbers here. Okay, so we want all of those numbers, but only the ones there. So what we're going to do, instead of using the percentage sign, I'm going to use an underscore for each one of these. So imagine this is the first one, 0 is the first one, that's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and this is the fourth one. So I need to do 3 underscores, because this and the forward slash are part of my string. So underscore is going to be this wildcard. So it's kind of meaning, in this case, it's like anything. This can be anything. This can be anything. This can be anything. Well, you could do the forward slash. It wouldn't matter. So you could do forward slash, underscore, forward slash, 04, forward slash, and then everything after that, well, it's just going to be 2009, right? So you could just do 2009. All of the years, you just have to check all the years are the same, and they are. So that would be that first one done. Okay, so that's what this is. These 2 4 underscores are meaning anything for these 2, okay? And it's different from the percentage sign. Now the other way we could do it is actually you could just do this as well. So you could have done that and make this a little bit shorter. So instead of doing the 2009, just anything after that, which is 2009 in this case, but we'll leave it as 2009 like this. Okay, so we get that first one done. So it's like that. Now we then need to do or, and we need to do the date again. So I'm just going to copy this, paste that there, then do another or, and paste it again. Now I've got that. Let's pull this out a wee bit so you can see it all. I'm going to change this one to 5 and this one to 6. Okay, so now I want to run that and just check if I've got it right. And it more or less looks fine there. I can see all the dates are 4, 5 and 6, which is good. But what problem have we got here with the week? Because now I've got 161 rows, but what's happening in the week? Oh, I'm getting 37, 35, 35 here, 35 here. And that's a funny little thing, because we're using this or. So this is saying that we get week and this one, or this date by itself, never mind the week, or this one by itself, never mind the week. So what we need to do is encapsulate this all to be together. So to do that, we need to put brackets. So this is a bit like in maths, where you kind of want all of this to be together. And it's because, you know, the way you would do the add and the multiplying and dividing, so the multiplication and division is done first. Well, what's happening here? It's the same with these operators. So these are logical operators, and it happens here too. So it's doing week and this one, or this one or that one. So we need to put this set of brackets. So I'm going to just do that again. And now I've only got 36. Okay, so that's something very careful that you have to make sure you do for that. Now, what are we left with? Well, we've got and then we've got to do, and I'm going to do it on the next line. Strand, was it? It said office is strand, so we have office is equal to, and then in quotes, strand. Okay, run that. Right, now I'm down to 28, which is good. Okay, so this is a different way that we had to use date just because it was a string. Okay, so we couldn't do this between one date and another. Okay, because these dates are strings, so this is a different way. And this is a new wildcard search way to do it for specific letters. So it's the first two letters can be anything, or the first two symbols, characters should I call them, because they're not letters, they're numbers. The first two characters are anything, then that date and that the rest of that. Okay, so after this we need to then look at sorting. Sorts the data into ascending order of date. Oh, well, that is a big pain to do as well, because to do that I need to do order by, but of course if I do order by date, run that again, it's not doing it. And why is it not doing it? Because it's the same problem as before. These are strings. So it is doing 0, 1, 0, 3, 0, 5, 6, and so on, but it's not doing it according to the months. And it's because the date, essentially you would want to do it from 2009 4 and then the day. So you do the year, month, and day. So it's because of the way this data is actually stored in our database that this isn't going to do it the correct way this way. So we have to do something very similar to what we did up here. So we're going to just take that and we'll do order by date, but I'm going to take that date away and just copy this. Okay, now I will need to take a few things out. I'm not copying the brackets, so I'm going to do Control C. Control C and then Control V. On a MacBook, that is Command C and Command V. Now, order by that one, but I can't do this OR operator if I try this. It's still not doing it. Or is it doing it? Looks like it's on doing it actually. It does look like it's doing it, but the OR shouldn't be there really. So what we can do is just separate it with a comma. So if I take those away, separate comma there and there, doesn't need an OR in it. It did seem to work anyway though. Now, this is doing it the other way around. The order is the other way around, okay? So we need to then put this as descending. So how do we do that? Well, can we put brackets around this and then say DESC? No, doesn't like it. So what we have to do is just put it at the end of each one. So after there, DESC, here DESC, take that bracket away again, and run it. Okay, so now it looks fine. Just have to check the data. So it's doing 3rd of the 4th, so doing it by date, 6th, 15th, 19th, 20, 25, 28, all of them 4th, 5th, and 6th. So that is the end of that. So what do we need to do? Well, one extra thing I can show you here is that you might want to save this SQL statement. So in here, you can double click on that and you can say that you want to give it a name. And the name of this was week 36. Week 36. See then, what does it say here? Week 36 for strand at the top, it says, right? So save it like that. But that's not saved. If I close this database, this won't be saved. So there's a way to save it, and that would be to do it like this here. So you got save SQL file, save the results view. So we want to do save SQL file if you want to save it. Now I'm going to just go into Documents, Work, Key Stage 3, Databases, Exercise 2, and I'll just save it in here. So I'm going to call this week 36 for strands as the SQL file. So that means I can open this SQL if I have accidentally closed it for some reason. But then I also want to export it as a CSV, and we say save it and just give it the same name. So there it is, week for 36 strand, save, export completed. Okay, so now I've got those two files. I can do the rest of this. So what do we have to do? Well, I don't need to do the video for this because you've done this already. You need to bring it into a spreadsheet, and it says calculates the total value of income field and displays this at the end. So I can show you actually that just very quickly because you may not have that option to do that. So if I go to a new window, just go to my email again and open up a spreadsheet. Okay, so here we go, and sheets. And create a new spreadsheet. Now, this formula is one called sum that would total all of these up. So what I want to do is just make sure that I'm doing everything correct, and it'll say, I can go back to here and look at these things and make sure these things are currency and things are week is one decimal place, two decimal places for price. So here I need to press this down arrow, file and import, upload the file, select that file or pick it from your folder. So if I go into here, I can do it this way too, or I can just pick the file the other way, exercise 2. So here you can see I've got the SQL file that I made, just in case I need to open this again, and this one, which is the CSV, drag it in there. It'll come up with a message, do you want to replace the spreadsheet? And you can say yes. Need to just open this window a bit bigger and import data. And then I get that data in there. All right, once it's in, you can see that we've got a little bit of formatting that we might want to do. So I've got some of the dates are coming in on the left or on the right. Don't know why that is, but I can just select that whole column. And if I just then pick over here to do this onto the right, that's fine like that. Or I can choose it all to be on the left if I want it to be on the left, right? And then I want to do the total income. So the income needed to be price as well. Okay, so what I do is income, and up here I can choose the currency. So here I've got euro, but if you don't see it, you need to go to more currencies, and then you need to search for it. So I'll use it like that and put those as euros. Everything else I believe is fine. So at the very bottom I just needed to do a sum with this. So the sum function, if I have my window open bigger, it actually shows me more of the functions are hidden. So this one is here under there. You can just do sum, or you can do equals sum, open the brackets, and then just select all of these. So you select them all except for income. You don't want that one. Close the bracket and press enter, and you get a total sum at the very bottom. Then I need to put the title. So the title was down here. It says includes, calculate the total, has labeled total income to the left of the total. Okay, so total income to the left of the total. And just need to make sure that everything else it says here, income field, displays this at the end of the report under the income field formatted as currency. Okay, so it is as currency as well in euros. And that should be it. So I can then just select this information. Should be able to select it. Do Control-C on Windows, Command-C on a Mac. Go to my documents. So there's a blank new document, and I needed to then paste that in. So I need to put in the title at the top. So I'm going to just then leave a space. Link to spreadsheet, paste unlinked. Just going to paste unlinked. There you go. right? So the title at the top was includes a heading. Right, so week 36. 36 4 strands, and I can just make that a bit bigger. There you go. So we got a report, and that's how you do a report from your database. So the last thing I would need to do on this exercise, just make sure that my name's on the left at the bottom of the report, and then I can submit that. So I just need to double click at the bottom. There you go. That's the last part of this, and you just then submit that. So the main things that we've done in this exercise was looking at how to do this extra wildcard. Okay, so it's underscore underscore, and over here we use the OR operator. We use the AND operator, which we did last lesson as well. And then looking at this order, this is just quite complicated when you're trying to do it with a string. It's easier if it's numbers, but in this case we've had to do it like this, so that you just have to bear in mind if you ever get an exercise in the future, this would be the way to do this.